All right, folks, God bless you guys, and welcome to This Is It, 4, 3, 2, 1, Before the Fire. All right, here we go, guys. So y'all have heard about the new appointee to Twitter. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Let me remind you of some stuff real quick, okay? Let's talk about this billboard real quick. Gotcha covered. See, gotcha. Gotcha covered. See, she's winking her eye. For those of y'all that know Psalm 35:19, neither let them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me. Neither let them wink the eye that hate me without a cause. Okay, so when you're winking the eye, that's a representation of the angel of the bottomless pit, the serpent race, looking right at you. Remember when I told you, hey Johnny, how you doing? Alex used to wink his eye and stick out his tongue. That's why I told Chris at Starbucks, I'll bet you $1 million. Alex draws a picture of me, and when he does, he puts an image of a dead sheep on my face. Okay, that's one of the weirdest things in the world, to say that to somebody. Just stop and think, hey, I bet if that guy draws a picture of me and he does a picture of a dead sheep on my face, it's like, what? Why would anyone ever say that? Because I knew he would, because when he winks his eye and he sticks out his tongue, he gives away what race he is, just like the Gene Rebel channel and all the people over there. They give themselves away by their actions and by the stuff that they have as monikers on their channels. It's very obvious. Now, ready? Gotcha covered. Okay, now watch this. Do y'all remember Nibbles Wood Away? Let's see. Hang on one sec. There was Big Blue Bug wears face mask in support of frontline workers. And they call it Nibbles. Nibbles Wood Away. Okay, so there's Nibbles. It's a big blue locust. What's in the pit? What comes out of the pit? Locusts. So Nibbles Wood Away. Let me show you what they're referring to. And Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. So Elohim created. Ready? Qualified to cut down a wood as a formative process. See, to cut down right there a wood as a formative process. I'm going to change this a little bit. All to green. There it is. To create, and then it says, I'm going to highlight this differently. A little bit different color. Look for the yellow now. To create, qualified. To cut down a wood as a formative process. To select, to feed as a formative process. To feed as a formative process. Nibbles Wood Away. Now, do you guys remember that the Statue of Liberty is standing on top of an 11-pointed star called a hendecagram? And inside the middle of that 11-pointed star is a star. A 5-pointed star, there it is. That represents the serpent in the flesh host body system. So this right here, see all the serpents? It's an 11-pointed star as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that represents the flesh, the host body that's surrounded the angel. There it is. So the Statue of Liberty is standing on top of that 11-pointed star. I've shown it to you a whole bunch of times. And in the middle is the star. Let's look at Nibbles again real quick. You see, you know what's going on there? There's a 5-pointed star in the middle of an 11-pointed star. Nibbles Wood Away. Okay, so there you go. Ready? There's the Kelipot. This is the 11-pointed star the Statue of Liberty standing on. So I've shown you guys before. You can just aerial view Statue of Liberty. There it is, the 11-pointed star the Statue of Liberty is on, representing your host body. This is just from the Kabbalah. This is the Satanists that know what's going on, that hold you captive. It's made out of serpents' heads. It's no different than the 11-pointed star of the Statue of Liberty. And then we're going to take a look at, here's Nibbles Wood Away, big blue bug, supporting the frontline workers. And then we'll do the locust from the altar. Remember, in the Vatican, you have the locust. There's the locust right on the corner of the canopy, which represents the host body. So there's the locust right here on the host spot on the canopy. Now let's go look back at Nibbles. Here you go. There's Nibbles, 11-pointed star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What's in the dead center of that? And let me just, it's no different than right here, the Statue of Liberty. See it? Because there is an insect race nibbling away another race, which is the sheep race. I told you right there it is. Again, Nibbles would away. Got you covered. They're so busted. So I got news for them, though. The Lord said, woe unto them who go to great depths to hide their plans from the Lord. Now you remember the Vatican? Well, you see that bug right there? Let me remind you of the Vatican. There's the big bug right there, and see the chair, the chair of St. Peter's right there? Let me slide this over here. This is going to be kind of interesting trying to put all this together, but I think I can do it real quick. Watch this. So, remember that the chair of St. Peter's turns into, right here. Here we go. So, here's the chair of St. Peter's. It makes a penis. The whole thing's a penis. Here it is identified clearly right here. All the angels melting into semen. There they are. Here's the penis. There's the wood. Get it? Nibbles wood away. Okay, so there's the wood. The chair is made out of wood. And then we just simply, you know what? Let me go back. Let me go back to this. And let's see, where'd it go? Hang on one sec. Okay, so here we go. So let me zoom out a little bit. So here is the big bug, and there's the chair of St. Peter's. And again, let me see if I can put them in the right order. Here we go, right here. There it is. Okay, so again, here is the chair, the wood part of the altar of St. Peter's, the chair. And have you ever wondered why they, in the male reproductive system, they say, oh, you got a woody, like an erection? Why is it called a woody? Why would you call it a woody? And here is that penis that's part of the chair. And now all we have to do is look at this. There's the chair right there. It's a penis. Here's a big bug. Nibbles wood away. I get it. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. And there's your altar in the Vatican, the corner of the canopy, which represents the host body. There's the locust, because there's a locust race nibbling the wood away. They're great. What a great group of guys. What a great group. So here we go. Here you go. Now, you guys will be able to understand this. It's obviously, so obviously cryptid. Christmas in Rhode Island, big blue bug solutions. You know what the big blue bug solutions are? That race of insects from the pit. The serpent race. There it is, right in front of you all the time. See, there it is. Big blue bug solutions. Nibbles wood away. I mean, what do you think the odds are that Elohim created man in his own image to cut down a wood? See it? To cut down a wood. Select. Feed. Nibbles wood away. There you go. Now, let me just show you. I've actually done a little extra, just cleaned up that drawing. There's the hendecagram, the same thing as the Statue of Liberty. What do you think the odds are? They must be freaking out, because just a little message to that other race it means. So, yeah, the thing is, I had an epiphany the other day, and it was so beyond my brain that the Lord let me understand what He's let me understand, that I actually sat in my room and I wept for my enemies. Jonathan Kleck's not capable of sitting there and weeping for my enemies, but Jesus is. And the Bible says, though I speak the language of men and of angels, and I have not charity, I'm nothing. See, because I speak the language of angels. I'm doing it right now. I'm showing you it. This is the language of angels. I can show you taking the numerology of Taylor Swift sitting on the ceiling, playing a game that says devils roll the dice and angels roll their eyes, 241, of another race, 336, to kill and destroy. That's the language of angels. So I sat there and I wept for these channels and the people that support them, and who all of them. I literally sat there and wept and cried and just prayed for them. I'm not capable of doing that. I'm not. But Christ in me is. Christ in me is capable of doing that. And that was a moment that changed my life for sure. And then you can see that how Christ looks down, or how God looks down at us from heaven and goes, God, there's nothing these guys can do. He has to go in to help you. And that's where true love and true absolute love, unconditional love comes from. When you see that whoever it is that hates you or whoever it is that hates me, they hate me because they're a slave of the angel of the bottomless pit. And that's the reason they hate you or they hate me. Because what's taken them captive. So we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but we against principalities. And so those principalities of evil have taken them captive. And so that's why we should always pray for our enemies and have pity on them. And I understand how Satan wants them to get under your skin. Satan uses them to try and make people mad. That's what he does. It's okay to show people, and there's no problem with saying, look, this one-eye symbology and all that nonsense, that is them. That shows they've been taken. And they can sit there and spew their hatred all day long, but that's just who has taken over them. So anyway, pray for them. I'm going to do a video where I talk about the language of angels, because the Lord just literally blew my brains out with the reality of understanding it. And I have a folder where I'm going to share it with you. It's just going to be the language of angels. But anyway, there it is. There's the other race. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What's in the center? A 5-pointed star. What's nibbling the wood away? A big blue bug. Do you get it? The big blue bug is nibbling the wood away. What's the wood? The formative process of two different races that have been commingled together. End of story. It's obvious now. It's so obvious. It's ridiculous. It took a lot of folders and stuff. But let's look at what's going on with Elon Musk. So here you go. Excited to announce that I've hired a new CEO for X Twitter. See, X. She will be starting in 6 weeks. My role will transition to being exec chair and CTO overseeing product software and whatever, sysops. Anyway, it should be psyops. It should be psyops. Anyway, so why is it called X Twitter? Remember, what's the whole deal? X, the 2X is what's taking over the world. 2X, female energy. So Elon's handing it over. Let me show you who he's handing it over to. Let's read her comment. Linda Yaccarino, know the facts. That Ad Council is working to inform Americans on why we must embrace an FDA-approved, read it for yourself, DVOC vaccine, and how to go about it. We're almost there. Let's cross the finish line with Nibbles wood away. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, pretty crazy, huh? So that's who he hired. Let's cross the finish line. So this is who has been hired as CEO of Twitter. Let's cross the finish line. What does that tell you? There it is. So that's pretty fascinating. So we're almost there. Let's cross the finish line. let's see, then here's what else was in her little thing. You will see me. This was this little video thing that came with her little announcement, I think. Let me double check. So when I went to Who is Linda Yaccarino, there was a video that was here, and in that video that was here, that image that I just showed you that says you will see me right down here, right. Okay, so I mean, just the whole thing is pretty fascinating. You will see me, and it's a veiled face. Just stop and think about it. I wonder what that's referring to. Let's cross the finish line. You will see who. Oh, guess who's coming up out of the pit. And you're going to see him in everybody, because that's what's coming. Okay, anyway, so yeah, and then, guys, there's also a lot, there's so much stuff in these new folders, it's just overwhelming to try and get it all to you, because the whole thing is just split wide open. The level of information that's rolling out is just absolutely insane. Did y'all know why witches what they use a lot of the same accoutrements? The crystal ball stuff that the witches use. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here we go. So the witches with the crystal ball stuff, they use crystal balls for a reason. And I was wondering, why do witches have crystal balls? And let me show you why. That's what a crystal ball does. Turns everything upside down. That's why the witches have crystal balls. Because they know they're witches. See? There it is. There's a crystal ball. So anyway, a lot of the same accoutrements. You'll see that stuff everywhere. It's easy to see once you're awake. Once we've been awakened in their system. But remember, this is not good for anyone. Excited to announce that I've hired a new CEO for X Twitter. Because it's all about the X thing. Christ's purpose was to make one new man from the two, thus making peace. He's the Prince of Peace. All right, yeah, I'm going to talk to you about this language of angels thing. It just literally rattled my brain. It's so mind-boggling to understand it. And I want to try and give you guys just the depth of understanding so you can also genuinely pray for your enemies. Pray for them because they've been taken captive. See, it's not really them. It's not the host body walking around talking smack or just being hateful. It's what's taken over them. And so you should pray for them because they've been taken over by a monster that's going to destroy them eternally. So that's the reason you pray for your enemies. All right. Peace and grace. I love you guys. All right.